So like we're watching the boat go through the Panama Canal, and she looked over at me. She was like, "Are you crying right now?" And I was like, "Yeah." She was like, "Is it because of the boat?" Welcome to the Sent and Bent podcast. I have no idea what we're talking about today, but Ethan has been researching some stuff, so we'll probably start there because last time we were talking about the homemade power station, and I think you've made some progress in that lane, right?
Yeah, a little bit. That's actually not what I've been researching. So we'll start off with the exciting research stuff because it's fairly brief in and of itself, and then I can talk about where I've gone with the power generation thing and some other Saturday side quests. But anyway, the exciting news is this morning, I don't really know why it occurred to me to look this up this morning as opposed to any other time, but I decided to look up the regulations for the NORA 1000.
Oh, good.
This actually tracks with
Yes.
recent conversations
Yes.
we've
Yes.
been having.
Which is for the people.
Yes, for the people who don't know, the NORA 1000 is a 1,000-mile, 6-day off-road rally in Baja. It's like styled after the Baja 1000, and it is still a race, but it takes place over 6 days, so you're not racing all night. You race during the day, and then you like camp out at night, and it's also about like experiencing the culture and the food and stuff in Baja. Like it's a much more immersive experience, and it's much more attainable.
That sounds yummy.
It also sounds a lot easier to film.
Yes, because it's happening over the course of 6 days and not at night. So like the miles per day are pretty minimal. So it's a really cool race, and a lot of it is vintage classes. Like most of the classes are for like vintage race cars and stuff. Desert cars, obviously. But like there's a ton of vintage classes, which is really cool. And that would be a cool way to do the race too. Like we could go buy a vintage race car and do it. But, and here's where it gets really interesting. There's a military class. And pretty much anything is fair game if it can meet safety requirements.
So like LS Humvee?
No. That one actually doesn't count because, well, it could in one of the other classes. No, I'm talking MTV.
Oh.
Yeah.
We build the 6x6 military truck we got, not the dump truck, the other one.
Mm-hmm.
We can do.
I haven't seen it since we got here.
I know, it's up
Chris
at Chris'
has just been daily in that thing or something.
He hasn't been driving it at all. It's just at his house, which actually, I mean, his shop has a space to store it under cover. So we were talking about it the other day. I was like, yeah, just park it there. Like that's better than here. Anyway, but yeah, so that thing, as far as I read the rules, which are very, very minimal, basically there's a whole list of safety requirements. We'd need harnesses and a roll cage and radios and, all of that. But that's...
Yeah. You want that anyways.
Exactly. You want that anyway. So, but
How do you make a roll cage that could make you survive with all that weight on top of you?
Well, here's the thing. That thing's so tall, it really wouldn't like roll all the way over.
It's just to protect you if you go on your side.
Yeah, or I don't know, something else. But like, yeah, I mean, we would build the best cage we could build. But yeah, I mean, like, I don't know. You could pretty easily build a cage that would handle the weight of that thing rolling over. I mean, it wouldn't like if you rolled it down a mountainside, you'd be dead anyway. But
yeah,
like anyway, so yeah, you need a roll cage, you need harnesses, you need, all these safety things. But that's a given with any race car. It would be a little more challenging to do that. But then the rest of the regulations are pretty much wide open for the military class. There's actually 2 military classes. One is vintage, so 20 years older or more. And that would be fine because it's more than 20 years old. But the vintage class is limited to 37-inch tires or 35-inch tires. Either way, 46s don't count. So that would be the class you'd run a Humvee in. You could get a stock 20-year-old Humvee. And you can do a lot with the suspension. All of the suspension mods I've done would be legal. That'd all be fine. But the LS would not because it says it has to be the same displacement and style as factory.
So you can change the engine as long as it's...
Like, you could put a Duramax in there. As far as I read the rules, a Duramax would qualify because it's effectively the same displacement. It's 6.6 instead of 6.5 liters, but I don't know if they got that pedantic. And also, it's a turbo diesel V8. So, like, you could build a Humvee for that class very easily. Or just, like, buy a totally stock one and send it. Because, like, top speed is not going to be your downfall in that.
Yeah, it's like your endurance of surviving being in a Humvee that long.
For 1,000 miles off-road, yeah. No, but, like, I mean, Humvee would be cool, but, like, I think the MTV would be way cooler. And it'd be an excuse to build up that truck with, like, properly good suspension. I mean, like, there's no restriction on shocks. Like, we could do coilovers, we could do bag bypasses, we could do, like, just anything you want suspension-wise. because that class, the modern military class, is an open class. So like pretty much any modification goes as long as it started out as a military production vehicle.
Is it from point A to B, or are you like going back and forth back to camp at night?
No, it's A to B. Every day is a new camp.
Okay.
Yeah.
So then trailing behind you is like your crew and camping.
Yeah, but with an MTV, you don't really need any of that because it's a 20,000-pound truck that can haul another 20.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, it'd be good to have a support vehicle for if everything breaks. But you could haul all of your spares. You could haul all of your fuel, which normally you can't.
Oh.
Normally you need a chase truck that has your fuel.
Yeah.
But that thing, you could fit 2,000 gallons of diesel in that thing and it wouldn't even notice the weight. In fact, it'd make it handle better.
Yeah.
So like, I mean, it would not be cheap. It'd be insanely expensive to get the truck to where it would be race legal and able to do it. But it'd be building a cool truck that would be cool for its own sake as well.
Yeah.
And more importantly, it's just cool that there's a race you could do that in. Like, that's the point, is like, how cool is that?
Yeah.
Like, that is awesome. Also,
and this terrain is like sand dune, like, or is there also like rocky stuff?
Let me put it this way. There's a reason that all-wheel drive trophy trucks are 2 hours ahead of everything else in the Baja 1000.
It's soft.
It's soft. It's rocky. It requires more than two-wheel drive. Not requires. There's a lot of two-wheel drive cars that make it, but they take a lot longer.
Yeah.
So I don't know how rough the course is for the Nora. It's probably a little bit more chill than the Baja 1000. I don't know. But it's proper off-roading.
So you have a smorgasbord of different terrain and stuff.
Well, and depending on weather, you might be dealing with mud or you might be dealing with silt beds that are 2 feet deep, or both. This last Baja 1000, there was both. The race ended in mud, and there's also, I've seen a bunch of shots of trucks just getting, like, a full-blown trophy truck, not all-wheel drive, getting just buried in silt. Like, had to stop, back up, and try again.
Wow.
Just silt. So, anyway, I'm not saying it's plausible anytime soon, but it's just cool to know that race class exists.
Yeah.
It's unfortunate that Chris is not feeling good today and not here, because he would be very excited about this on many levels.
Yeah, we'll have to bring it back up with him. But I get that the shocks are expensive and we'd need like new tires, but where is the expense?
I mean, it would just be all the little stuff adding up, because like, I don't know. I'd have to like probably actually just talk to somebody that either works at Nora or like is very experienced with it, which we do have contacts through Graham if you can ever get a hold of him. Graham, respond to your texts. He doesn't listen to our podcast. Anyway, at least not consistently. He doesn't have time for that. So like one of the rules in the safety section of the rule book, which applies to all vehicles, was about fuel tank design, and you have to have like a fuel cell that's X, Y, and Z. And I didn't read all the details because it wasn't important at the time, but like building a giant, like it's just, there's so many little things it would add up. Like I'm not saying it would be cheaper than a lot of other things to do racing. Yeah. But it would also be expensive largely in time.
That's
just
what I was going to
say.
Set
up the truck. It's just months of work to like get it prepped. But yeah, overall, I mean, we have the truck and we'd need new tires, but that's cheap. I mean, those tires, like, well, also we could probably get Mickey Thompson to, they're not technically rated for the weight, but if we're doing it off-road, I don't think anyone would care. But Mickey Thompson's, like, they make 46s. Well, obviously, we have them on the trike and the chopper.
We have 46 Mickey Thompsons on our chopper.
Yeah.
No big deal.
No big deal. But those tires are the same diameter as the military ones, but we could get them sponsored. So the problem with the military ones is you have to just buy them used, and they might be 10 years old. Even if they're brand new, they're 10 years old, and then they might be like cracked and rotted. And
so you actually can't buy
new
you
could
ones.
If you wanted to spend like $2,000 a tire. It's not quite that much.
Did you know
I'm
that,
rounding up,
Steven?
but it's like well over $1,000
they were
a tire.
pretty pricey. Yeah.
They're
wow.
Yeah.
You know what else
that
is
said,
pretty pricey? Is a little side tangent.
What?
You know that FD I showed you guys, the old crusty RX-7?
Well, you didn't show us, but you told us. Or
it's
I didn't
literally
see it.
like rusting at the pinch seams and like...
Yeah.
Edwin did show me the pictures, and
It's
it was
pretty
kind
bad.
of worse than he described it in some ways.
Yeah.
But
okay, so how much did it go for? Or how much is it up to? Has it sold?
Well, I bid it up to 20, and now it's just keeping on going. I think
Wow.
it's going to go for nearly 30. And this is a car with a bad respray, a different color. It used to be red, resprayed white, not greatly. The seller doesn't even have photos of what it looks like underneath the wrap. Doesn't have. And the wrap is a home done crust edition that's peeling off.
Dude, RX-7 people are absolutely out of their minds.
Like, I don't get it, man. I've been bidding on these things, and like the only two that have gone for under 20, I just like dropped the ball. I just wasn't around. So
Well, there's also a
We'll have
reason
that.
they're going under 20 if they're.
I know, but I'm okay with that. That's what I
Yeah.
want. But anyways,
Wow.
speaking of more expensive than
Yeah.
it should be, the
Yeah.
tires, that's insane for tires. But
Yeah.
I guess they are like heavy
Yeah.
rated for military
Well, I think the
spec.
other thing is we're just overexposed to big tires. Like we're
Yeah.
around them a lot.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
the chopper, it makes
Yep.
everything else look small. But normal people aren't around tires that big,
Yeah.
like daily.
But the chopper tires, those are like not even $1,000 new, right?
No, but they're, like, I don't know, $500-$600 a tire new.
Yeah.
But they're not, it's the weight rating that gets you. Those are rated for like 4,000 pounds a tire.
Yeah.
So realistically, we could build a race MTV on those tires and it would be fine for racing.
You would look so sick.
Right? You wouldn't want to haul on the road with it, but 6 tires at 4,000 pound rating a piece, like that's 12,000 pounds a side, 24,000 pounds. I mean, the truck weighs 19 empty. So you strip a little bit of excess weight off of it, add some more weight on, and you're looking at basically maxing out your tire ratings.
Yeah.
But for
'Cause we
off-road, who
wouldn't
cares?
Need like the whole fifth wheel setup.
No.
We wouldn't need a bunch of
That's
stuff.
a good, probably like 500 pounds of metal
Yeah.
on the back of there. But
I imagine the race fuel tank is lighter than the current fuel tank.
but what I'm saying is we'd want to bring all of our spares and fuel with us, so we don't have to have a chase team,
Oh, yeah.
right? Like it'd be good to know people that could help us out if we got stranded. But that thing's so big, like in a normal race truck, 1,000 pounds of extra fuel would absolutely end. Like you would just lose before you started.
Yeah.
But in that thing, it doesn't care.
How would we get it there?
We drive it.
Oh, so we drive it on the highway rated tires.
Well, I mean, they're rated for highway. They're just not rated for load on the highway.
Oh,
You know what I
okay.
mean? Like they're rated for enough to drive that thing empty. You just couldn't drive it loaded. So
We do a whole other MTV movie just driving our race truck to Mexico.
yeah, exactly.
How do those work? Like getting over the border? If it's military, is it just the same as
I
anything
have
else?
no idea, but I have a feeling Mexico probably doesn't care too much.
Okay, that's not the part I'm worried about.
back.
It's
Yeah.
coming back.
I don't know.
I guess we'll
mean,
just be in a row of people with other crazy
Also-
trucks, though.
Also, at that point, it'll look so different. It's not a military thing. It's just a privately owned
Yeah.
truck.
What do you
'Cause you
think
could-
about painting it red?
I'm not really a big red kind of guy.
Really? But in the desert, I feel like red
I
trucks
mean, maybe.
look good in the
Maybe.
desert.
I could maybe be talked into it.
I mean, I'm just kind of partial to the tan.
The
that it
tan is good.
I just
Yeah.
like
But it-
the tan.
It would
does
be
look
hard to
good.
film in the sand, though.
yeah.
It would just blend
Yeah.
in.
Yeah.
But we could do it like a cool wrap. I don't know. Anyway,
Why does wrap stick to that like kind of chalky military
you might
paint?
have to like buff it out a little bit first, probably
Yeah.
would be my guess.
Huh.
But yeah, like we'd build a big box on the back that would house all the, so we could have like 2 or 3 spare tires and, a couple thousand gallons of fuel or whatever. We could do the math. We don't need a couple thousand, but like 500 gallons of fuel or whatever it would take to go 1,000 miles off road and not have to worry about it.
You know how you said weight would make it better?
Ride better? Yes.
What if we get it sponsored by Harley and we strap a Harley to the back?
Yeah, that'd be even better.
And then we could do that black and orange. I love the Harley
Ooh,
orange.
Yes, I'm a big fan of orange, black and orange.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or even not necessarily like, I don't know, whatever. Orange accents. Yeah. Anyway.
That could be sick.
But yeah, like I'm talking, like it's a huge truck. So all the normal like race car rules just go right out the window. That's why they're so cool for Dakar.
yeah.
Because like it's such a massive truck. Like I'm sure that's why those things are competitive at Dakar, because they can just carry all of their stuff and not have it affect their top speed or their like anything else.
That's the one you were showing me clips of the other
Yeah,
day,
the-
isn't
the
it? Yeah,
jump
that
and
was
stuff. Yeah.
crazy. I've
Yeah,
never
the
seen
Rebel
anything
ones.
like that. Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm sure we could get like any of the shock companies. Probably like, I mean, Carbon would be an easy one because we have a direct contact for that through Josh at Vague Industries. But like, Carbon makes like massive 4-inch triple bypass shocks. So we could get, 6 of those, put one on
Oh man, it'd
each.
be so cool.
Yeah,
Could
put
you
2 on each
imagine it
axle. Yeah.
crumbling through the
Like,
wilderness.
6 wheels is not better for racing. Like, it never has been, it never will be,
Uh-huh.
but it would be way cool. And also, we'd probably be the only one in the class. Like, how many people are taking military surplus vehicles and racing them 1,000 miles in the Mexican desert? They're probably more than I'm thinking. But anyway.
Probably a decent handful, but I don't know about 6x6 MTVs.
Exactly.
Like,
So-
I don't even just see them in general.
No, not much. But yeah, like build a giant box in the back and then also put a roof tent on the top, have a little kitchen in there built in. Like, you don't need anything else. You just have everything you need. Obviously, if something broke, we'd just, like, something we couldn't fix on the trail or didn't have spare parts for, like, we'd just be done. But that's the risk you take on that race. Like,
and then what? You get parts in Mexico and
you just get
it
parts
out of
shipped.
the desert.
Yeah. I mean, you'd have to get the parts shipped or like call in some favors to somebody with a helicopter.
Where they do these races, is it like
it's all of Baja.
Is it protected land? Like, it's like what equivalent in the States would be BLM, like state-owned protected land?
Yeah, it's not private land, but I don't know if it's really protected as such. It's just land. It's in Baja. Like, there's...
Yeah.
I don't know
but
how
it's
many...
like, I just wonder, like, there must be a lot of dead rigs for many weeks after the event, people trying to fix their rigs and get them out of there, right?
Probably, yeah. I mean, although most of the rigs are something you could just tow with anything else. Like, most of them are lighter than your average truck, so you could just
tow them with a regular truck.
You just bring in your chase truck and drag it out to the highway and then put it on a trailer and go.
Yeah.
So that would be our big downfall. But also, like, that thing is built for war. Like, we saw how many problems it can have, but they're not physical.
Yeah.
Like, they're not like it broke in half. They're just, it was not maintained for 20 years.
Yeah.
So...
And if we
beefed it up and built it for that.
Yeah, and we obviously, would drive it around a lot once we get the title in the mail, and we'd
be driving it around a lot just getting it to the race.
Exactly.
Like, we would know.
Yeah. And we'd have to, like, go to the dunes and test it before the race and stuff.
Go
like,
rally it around, hit some
it
whoops.
It would be put through its paces, and Chris is pretty good at maintenance. He just wants to grease that thing, and he just wants to do all the maintenance,
change all the fluids, and
yeah. That's the one habit that I don't think you picked up from Chris fully.
Well, yeah, you could say that. I mean, my excuse is just that I don't have time, but it's not really the best excuse because I could make time. I just I do the bare minimum of maintenance, and my problem is just like I know I can fix everything, so it doesn't really give me a lot of incentive. And also at this point, we've been doing this for so long, like I know that everything we build or like channel projects, it's all like I know it's not going to see enough miles to matter.
Yeah.
So I'm just like, fix it when it breaks, because like it's only doing a few miles a year or whatever. Yeah. That would be a very different thing, obviously.
It's fair enough.
Anyway, that's my excuse.
I've been doing like kind of, I've gone full 360 because I used to do 0. And now
because your dad doesn't at all.
No.
Like I've seen his dirt bikes and stuff, and like he literally, I don't know if he knows what maintenance is.
I don't think so. I never learned.
I've seen his boat. Like I just nothing is maintained.
Yeah, but eventually, like I figured out that you gotta do, the air filters and the oil changes and all that's pretty dang important, really. Rotating your tires makes your tires last so much longer.
Yeah. Well, I do that. I do that kind of stuff on my daily. Like on my truck, I change the oil and rotate the tires.
Yeah, for sure. But what I've been doing is like I've been doing it on my dirt bikes, and I have like nearly 30 now. And I
changing the oil on all of those dirt bikes really doesn't seem that worth it. Because they're not going to last long enough for wear to be the issue.
Well, I think so, because some of these bikes I've ridden like 3 times, and I just get curious. I'm like, I'm just going to pop that drain plug and see what kind of crustaceans come out of here. And it is surprising sometimes how bad it is.
You could provide somebody a full-time job just maintaining your Chinese bikes.
But you know what is surprisingly good? You know the 125 that I did the 3D printed turbo kit on the channel? So that one, I am taking the turbo stuff off.
Right.
Because we have use for that stuff here.
And also is not very rideable. Despite the turbo
Yeah.
system working, it was totally unrideable.
Yeah, and the heating and cooling, the 3D prints have warped, so it's not even
Yeah,
airtight anymore.
right.
So it's just
It
not.
was an experiment, not a
Yeah.
daily driver.
And it was a super fun experiment that surprisingly actually worked. We had boost for a minute there before everything
Yeah.
melted. But I completely burned up the clutch in that thing just from
Trying to drive it with a really unrideable power band.
yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm still like, I don't know, way dumber with engines than I should be from like being around you and
Years
listening
of
to you
editing
and
me talk about
editing
them.
you for all these years. But like, I know that you need to get the 4-stroke oil with wet clutch for like regular dirt bikes, but I
Yeah.
don't know with that one. So I'm like, oh, I'm going to change the oil. It must be really bad. I crisped the whole clutch. That oil, and that's the Chinese bike I've driven the most by far, was pristine. You could
Nice.
eat off that oil.
Eat off of that oil?
Yeah.
You could cook with it?
Yeah, I literally dropped the plug expecting to do the whole change because I was going to drain the system before I took off the turbo and everything. And the oil was perfect. I just threw the plug right back in instantly because it was just, there wasn't even anything on the magnetic plug. Like,
Wow. That's pretty good.
absolutely mint.
That's not what I would have predicted.
No.
Yeah.
Huh.
And then I just got a brand new 150 from
How
Temu.
are there still Chinese dirt bikes you don't already own?
I think there's
How?
only 4 I don't have that are gas.
Yeah, but by the time you get those, they'll have like 4 new ones on the market.
I guess, yeah.
I don't know because a lot of them are exactly the same. They just have a different sticker on it. Especially in the electric pit bike world right now. There's so much trash, even I'm not interested in it.
It's that bad.
It's that bad. It's all the same thing with different stickers on it, and it's all really, really bad. But this 150 is one of the few gas bikes I haven't done a video on yet. I thought it was from the same factory as that 125, and it was
Yeah.
actually pretty decent, so I was
Right.
pretty excited about this one. You know how a lot of times they don't come with real oil from the factory?
Yeah, they ship them with just cheap something to keep it from rusting.
Yeah, like vegetable oil sometimes. It's
Right.
crazy. But I popped that plug. This engine looks like a grenade went off in it, and it is brand spanking new.
Looks like a grenade went off in it, as in like large
Like-
chunks of metal.
Chunks.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah, like at first it was like kind of like metallic-y, but it has a magnetic plug that was completely packed. It was like a pea size of metallic.
Mm.
And then I wiped the inside with a towel, and it was like chunks, like the floor of our garage chunks.
Well, you know, I mean, if it was actually brand new, there's a chance they just like didn't clean the engine well after, you know what I mean? Like it's
Yeah.
machining debris. Like
Yeah.
what Toyota claims is killing the 3-liter
Yeah.
or 3.5-liter twin turbo engine that's in my
Yeah.
truck.
What was weird though is it was real oil for sure. There's
Right.
no doubt about it. It was
No, but
real
I mean, like,
oil in
like
there.
maybe there was just a bunch of metal shavings left over from manufacturing that they didn't
Yeah.
clean out, and then they got
yeah,
sucked up by the oil.
it
I mean,
must have been
hopefully,
it. So
because
yeah,
if it's never run for any meaningful amount of time, then like,
yeah, I haven't driven it yet. I put in the new oil and just idled it, but yeah, I thought that was really interesting
is
for
interesting.
a brand new bike. I mean, it was $1,600 for a brand new 150 shipped,
nice,
but
Yeah.
still it's not as cheap as some of the other ones. But
right.
anyways,
So there's some other news too from my, well, I don't know if you can quite call it researching, but I've been banging my head against a wall about what to do for the transmission in the Ferrari for a while now, and my more recent conclusions were basically we just need to fork up the cash or get a company to like partially sponsor us with like a racing transmission for
yeah,
surprise desert racing, because like a lot of desert racing is a either mid-engine or rear-engine rear-wheel drive, which means
Yeah.
you have a transaxle style where
Mhm.
input in one end of the transaxle and 2 outputs on the sides.
because the Ferrari we're building is a V10 turbo diesel.
Twin turbo diesel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it makes 4 times the amount of torque as the original
Ferrari?
engine in there.
Well, I mean, that's kind of irrelevant because like the original transmission doesn't exist. But yes, it
Yeah.
makes about double the torque.
Yeah. So this is why we need some very special
Yes.
transmission. Just
And with a tune, it'll also make considerably, like 50% more horsepower too. than the original
50 from a
percent.
tune?
Than the original Ferrari engine. But yeah, I mean, it'll go from, basically a tune. Like, I don't know, we might need cams or something
Wow.
too. But we can get
That's a lot.
we can get to it. It's 310 horsepower stock. The Ferrari, the Touareg engine. The Ferrari was 375 stock, so we're actually a little bit lower than that number. But with just a tune and basic mods, like no internals, no fuel system mods, just tune. Well, cams maybe. I don't even know if that's necessary or just recommended. And possibly upgraded turbos. You can easily get 500 horsepower and 750 torque out of that. So
on the note of the transmission too, the other day, when I plugged into ChatGPT, what we were doing.
So it's interesting you mentioned that. Finish your story, but I have more.
Yeah.
Along
Well, that's
those
pretty
lines.
much the end of it, because I was like, what are all the cars? I forget exactly what the prompt
we
was.
phrased it basically, we need a 6-speed manual transmission, or what cars came with a 6-speed manual transmission that were mid-engine rear-wheel drive.
Did it actually know, or did it
It
BS
did.
you?
Well, it
It
gave
did.
us a full list, but I kept
But
saying,
none of
like,
them were useful.
what are some other ones? And it just got more and more obscure. Like, within like 5 or 6 of them, I'd never even heard of.
They
the
were
car.
they're all just like stuff you'd see on Top Gear and be like, wow, I've never heard of that before.
And then
Oh.
ChatGPT literally was like, "This is an unusual request."
Really?
Okay,
I've
so
never gotten that before,
Yeah.
and I've asked some weird stuff.
that brings me to my next point, which is, this is actually where I was going. So it's interesting you brought up the AI thing again. I've been talking to Charlie at Kerma TDI, who's going to tune our ECUs for this thing. And this morning it occurred to me, I was like, this guy's done or been part of multiple of these V10 swaps. They're not documented on the internet very well. Although,
Oh.
side note, some guy sent us a message on Instagram who put one in a Nissan Patrol.
Oh.
So
That's
now
sick,
other people have done
actually.
it, but like if you Google it, AI or no, you're not finding anything if you try to find info on that thing, engine being swapped. So it's been done. And this guy at Kerma TDI is
But
probably
not
been
into a Ferrari.
exactly. He's probably been part of most of those swaps to the tuning or some
Yeah.
capacity. Because he also sells parts for him, like injectors and stuff. So like he knows of probably just about everyone that's ever happened.
Yeah.
And I asked him this morning, I was like, well, if he's been around them, maybe. So I just sent him an email and I was like, hey, do you know of anyone else who's done one with a manual transmission? And if so, what did they use? And he was like, no, as far as I know, you'll be the first one to ever try it with a manual. Basically, his message was like, yeah, good luck. That's going to not be easy to find one.
So he had nothing to add to that.
No,
Like,
but it gets better. So I messaged him and I was like, or he was like, he threw out some random ideas and I was like, yeah, what I've landed on at the moment is basically like I need a racing transaxle, which is great. They're good. You can get sequentials. You can get 6-speed, 5-speed, whatever the heck you want, but they're insanely expensive. And then he emailed me back a few minutes later and he's like, well, I plugged it into Grok. So another AI, like
Yeah.
Elon's AI.
Uh-huh.
Dude, he sent me a screenshot of the response. That AI is so far beyond the capability of any of the other ones I've
Yeah.
seen.
So is Gemini.
It's
Everything is better than
insane.
ChatGPT.
Dude, I don't use them. The only thing I interface with personally is the Google AI because you can't avoid it because it just comes up
Yeah.
every eBay or internet search.
Uh-huh.
And it's just absolutely useless for
Yeah.
searching obscure car facts.
can you talk to Grok for free, or is that?
Yeah, you just have to have an X account.
Oh wow!
And then you just tweet Grok. You just say, at Grok, what is a good transmission for this?
So, dude, but it was a huge list.
Uh-huh.
And it had lists of like,
And it was accurate.
it looked like it. I mean, it listed a Porsche transmission that I'd already seen as an option.
Uh-huh.
And it was like, also, an adapter plate already exists for this.
What?
I was like,
How does it know
what?
that?
I don't know, dude. And then it had this whole list. It was like, this company in Australia makes these ones for like Australian desert race trucks, and they can make you a custom input shaft and bell housing in about 4 weeks.
No.
it even had a timeline.
Yeah,
it was like,
it had
you can-
prices. It had prices for everything, and it had a timeline. It was like, this company can make you the input shaft and the bell housing you need, and then you'll need custom axles for this. There was a few things on there that weren't phrased quite right, that didn't make sense in the way it was phrased.
Yeah,
But like,
it summarizes an article or something.
yeah, but like, yeah, because it talked about like bolting to the differential in the Ferrari, and I'm like, well, no, because the differential's inside the transaxle. So,
Yeah.
but nevertheless, like the listings were impressive, and also that Porsche transmission that it suggested, it said it would cost like, I don't know, 10 grand or something. I went straight over to eBay, typed it in. There's one for $3,800. So even if I have to make my own bell housing adapter for it,
Yeah.
I had discounted some of the Porsche transmissions largely because their clutch size is really small compared to the bell housing size on the Touareg engine. So I was just like, well, that would be a lot harder to adapt for like the flywheel, the starter, all of that stuff. But this one, like, basically I just went down too many rabbit holes of research and like hadn't specifically researched this transmission, but it's already a mid-engine rear-wheel drive setup. It's for a Porsche 997. According to Grok, it can handle the horsepower, which I believe. I mean, it's a Porsche. They're probably pretty overbuilt. And it's $3,800 on eBay for one with 100,000 miles. So we'd still need a clutch, and we'd still need to figure out the bell housing. But like,
that's way more affordable than
a $15,000 one where we would still have to figure out the bell housing and the clutch.
Yeah, they're so expensive. We were talking about buying a race car that had an extra one because it's cheaper than just buying one.
Also, I
would've been
looked and I
fun.
couldn't find one. I thought maybe there'd be
okay.
one because I hadn't been looking for it specifically, and they
Yeah.
always are like, spare this, that, and the other thing.
Yeah.
A lot of them have spare engines, but none of the ones on Race Desert have a spare transmission. Probably because they're a $20,000, $20,000 to $40,000 transmission.
Wow.
So anyway, so yeah, that's encouraging. And that's like a price point where like we could just order that transmission off eBay, get it here, and then figure out the rest. And worst case scenario, if we can't make it fit, we can just resell it on eBay and take the loss on shipping.
Yeah.
Like, whereas all the other options, I was like, well, if these companies can't at least like help us with the cost, like,
You were screwed.
it's not really worth it. Like,
How crazy is that? My truck, brand new off the lot, was like $30,000. And you can spend that just on one racing transmission, just the transmission.
yep.
I know they're built different. Like,
Well, yeah. I mean, they're built to handle, like, some of them are built for like 2,000 horsepower. Think
Yeah.
of, the sand cars that you always see doing wheelies around, like in Dubai
Yeah.
and stuff. I mean, also Glamis, but like the ones in Dubai are more next level.
Yeah.
That's what we're talking about. Like, it's the transmissions for those.
Wow.
Because those things are like 1,000 to 2,000 horsepower twin turbo LSs running through just a single transaxle and two axles.
And they do wheelies.
They do. There's a few of those for sale because I've been looking at desert race cars lately. You'll sense a theme in this podcast.
Ethan's got the bug.
Well, I always have. It's just like every time I actually race, it gets worse.
I really wouldn't mind Grindhard having a car that can do wheelies.
Yeah, the problem with that is that the wheelie cars are really not race cars.
They're more like
They're
have
a
fun
play.
in the
Yeah,
desert.
they're a play car. That said, I would be willing to bet that a Class 1 Baja car, which is basically the same thing, it's rear engine, rear wheel drive, ridiculous amounts of travel. It's the same layout as a sand car.
With paddle tires, it must.
It would
wheelie.
probably still do a wheelie.
Yeah.
You might have to like boost the engine up a little bit more because those, again, they're designed to win a race, not like impress people.
Yeah.
So like they're not going to boost it to more than they need to win the race.
Mm-hmm.
And if
they
you
want
blow up,
the safety of
if you
not
blow up,
blowing
you're
up.
not going to win the race. So like, I think that the Class 1 cars are pretty conservative power wise of what they could be putting out. But you could get one, do some races with it, and have a turbo kit for when you're not racing. You can bolt on there and do wheelies.
Yeah.
But yeah, so a Class 1 would be something that could do wheelies and also race the Baja 1000.
You know,
but-
I think that we need to go desert racing because the kids need to know about desert racing.
Mm-hmm.
Like, if
Dude, it
because we have the
concerned me.
library and DVDs, and if one of them was about desert racing, I don't know how you learned about it. I'm assuming similar
By
to me.
watching it physically in Baja with Chris.
Well, yeah, you grew up with Chris. That's cheating. Okay,
That is cheating,
I
yeah.
saw it on a DVD.
I mean, yeah.
But like,
We should bring
the
it back.
kids
Like,
don't know about desert racing.
know. Yeah.
And
Dude.
kids watch our show, so we need to educate the
We
people.
do. And I was telling you, I don't remember if this was on a podcast or not, but I was looking at the results. It was on the podcast, the last one. I was looking at the results of the latest Baja 1000 where our boy Chris won it.
Mm-hmm.
Not our Chris. Christopher Pulvardi. Clarification.
Could you imagine
right.
Chris hops out of the truck 14 hours later? Oh, yes.
he's like, oh, that pillow held up great.
I had 3 pounds of candy today.
Anyway, when I was looking through the race results of that, there was only 2 Class 5s on the list. One DNF'd and the other one finished and won by default because it was the only Class 5 that finished. And Class 5 Unlimited it still has to have, I don't know the details, but basically it has to have the body of a Volkswagen Beetle, but the body is pretty loose. It's basically just the cab and like a semblance of fenders.
And you can do anything you want.
Everything else
right?
is unlimited.
Yeah.
Unlimited horsepower, unlimited shocks, unlimited everything else. But Class 5 cars, like, that's the epitome of Baja. Like, that was Baja back in the day, was just literally Volkswagen Bugs that got modified more and more.
Yeah.
And now there's only 2 of them in the race.
I mean, doing it with the MTV would be really cool, but
Yeah,
that would
but
be
hearing
like,
that really brings a tear to
I
the
know.
eye.
Yeah.
And they're not expensive, dude. There's like, I mean, they're expensive, but on the class of a race car,
Yeah.
they're insanely cheap. Like, you can, on Facebook Marketplace in the southern parts of the West, or on Race Desert, which is just like a classified for that kind of stuff. There's like 4 of them at least that are like around the $50,000 mark for a ready to go race car, Class 5 unlimited. Like,
Yeah. And it's
that's not-
achievable. It's so much cooler because, like, I'm thinking, all right, if I had a teenage kid or whatever, they're gonna experience the world through scrolling through Instagram, and they're gonna see like kids their age with like Lamborghinis that are pretending to be drop shipping, but really they rented it or whatever, and like
Right.
that's pretty much it.
well, or
But
even if you're following racing, right? You could see Christopher Polvardi, who like, he did not have that handed to him. He earned it through like years and years and years of racing. But still, he's in a $2 million trophy truck. I mean, it's not quite 2, but like, that is not attainable.
Yeah.
He got there by being really good at driving. He started out in trophy carts and got to there. I mean, obviously, I don't know his whole life story, but like, he's been racing his whole life, and that's how he's now driving a trophy truck.
Yeah.
But that's not attainable or relatable in any way.
Yeah.
Like, nobody's like, oh, I could do that. No, it's a
Yeah.
you.
But
you're-
some of these Beetle classes, you
Yeah.
could like have a good job and go and do it.
dude, I mean, that's what Class 11 is all about. Class 11 is the one where it's still a stock Beetle. So like,
yeah, how many
Class
cars
11s
were
were
there?
I'd have to look, but there was quite a few, but I think only 1 finished, which is pretty typical for Class 11.
That's I guess he had to get a
Because-
stock Beetle
Yeah, I mean,
across the line.
okay. So to clarify, I think 2 finished, but only 1 finished in the time limit. So on the thing, it'll say DNF, or it'll say, you know, it'll say what position if they placed, and then below that there'll be a DNF with a time, as in they finished but not in the time allotted. And then below that's all the just actual DNFs. But I
we
think
just
only
need
2
to get
Class
the kids
11s.
racing, man. That's
dude-
going to be my new passion project.
I agree.
second to
Racing
wheelies.
Yeah, well, doing wheelies. I mean, the kids are learning about wheelies plenty well and good scrolling through Instagram. So
Yep.
that's been covered.
Yep.
But the desert racing,
desert
is,
racing,
is
man,
just,
it's-
you know.
Yeah.
Has anyone ever wheelied the whole race?
No. No one ever will.
Could you imagine?
Dude, has anyone ever wheelied 1,000 miles, period? No.
Probably not.
I guarantee they haven't. On smooth pavement. You're going to...
Coming soon to Edwin, 1,000-mile wheelie
I
challenge.
don't know, some of these
But
guys,
it's
like
not.
on
I mean-
stunt bikes in Florida, they just only put it down if they want to, you know?
True, but still, they don't do that for 27 tanks of gas straight. And that's like what it would take. I mean, not 27, but you know what I'm saying.
Could you imagine?
Like, what's your qualification of it being 1,000-mile wheelie? Like, you would have to put it down to get fueled up.
Yeah.
So
I wonder if you could do those little, like, jet engine things they do with like the big
in-motion
planes.
refuelers,
Yeah.
they actually do that in the Baja.
Really?
Trophy trucks. Yeah. Or I
Did
don't know
you
if they
know
still
that,
do.
Steven?
I don't know
I
if they
didn't
still
know.
do, but they
Sick.
did. I don't know if it got banned. Like, I'm not up to date on
Wow.
it enough, but I know that they would have a chase truck, and they just because there's sections of the road or the race that are on a highway, so you can't you have to obey the speed limit for a brief period between off-road sections.
Yeah.
And so on the highway, they would drive up with the chase truck and refuel the trophy truck in motion. So they wouldn't lose any time because they could do it on the road where they had to be going a specific speed anyway.
Have you seen the videos where they have a self-propelled push lawnmower and it's like a stake in the middle of the
And
yard?
it just goes around in circles and winds itself up. Yeah.
Yeah. What if you did that with the fuel line and a stunt bike in a parking lot?
Okay.
You could probably get a couple 100 miles.
Sure. But that just sounds kind of contrived and boring. It's like those world records where it's like the guy that pushed a peanut with his nose, you know, like, yeah, you could get the record for that because no one else is trying.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's funny how they like determine whether it's a record or not too. Because can you just pitch them anything? Like,
Apparently.
like most
Yeah.
cans of WD-40 smashed with an axe in an hour, and you're like, what? Like,
Ethan would set that one
Yeah.
pretty good.
Well, 'cause no one else has tried. That's my point.
I came up with
Yeah.
that because I saw an axe and there's WD-40 over there. So,
Yeah,
and
exactly.
you've seen Ethan Axon before. What if you did a cannonball run but wheelied it from the East Coast to West Coast.
So do you just start over if you
Like-
fail your wheelie?
Well, you could put it down at a gas station or a red light, but like if you're in motion, you're wheeling.
Sure, but dude, I don't think there's like I wouldn't say there's no one that could do it. I'm sure there are plenty of street bike boys out there
Yeah.
that could do it. You know what? This is a conversation you should bring up again when we have Dizzy and Bobby up here this winter for snow biking.
Yeah.
And we do a podcast with them.
Yeah.
You should, because they know wheelies on bikes a million times better than either of us ever will.
There's this guy, Brian. He's probably like the biggest stunt bike channel on YouTube. It's Brian like 628 or something. It's close to 623,
it's not
but not
623.
quite, Steven. But the man will get like 12 o'clock wheelie, both feet like V'd up in the air, like sitting on the gas tank for just blocks.
That's pretty impressive.
And I'm really thinking he could do a cannonball run wheelie.
You're going to have to hit him up, Edwin. And,
I'll hit him up.
Yeah.
Actually probably doesn't want to be on the podcast. I don't think anyone knows who he is because all of his videos he's doing illegal stuff. So he never takes off his helmet.
Mm-hmm.
And even if he's doing like a bike review, he wears a shiesty because like obviously he can't have people know who he is. His name probably isn't Brian.
Probably not.
Dude, it just still cracks me up.
so
that
I don't
you
know if
call those
people
a
like-
shiesty.
Isn't that what they're called? The ski mask, I guess.
Yeah, or a balaclava. But I'm sure it's a thing.
That's what balaclava means? I've seen the word.
the thing you pull over your
Yeah.
head.
That makes sense. Wow.
Not to be confused with the Greek dessert baklava.
Yeah.
Easy to mix those up as a statement,
Yeah.
but balaclava, that's what that is.
So when you like look up, like if you're on, I don't know, like motorcycle websites or, like streetwear websites, not skiing websites, because it's just called a ski mask, but it's called a balaclava.
Well, I don't know about on websites.
I'm saying,
you're saying
and I'm
it
like,
is.
what the hell is that? That's a shiesty.
Dude, Steven, have you ever heard him called a shiesty by anyone other than Edwin?
I don't
Well,
know. I don't
every
think
single
so.
rapper ever.
Yeah, but I don't really listen to rap that much or lyrics in general.
Really?
No, I have a really hard time understanding lyrics in any music.
My wife's the same way, actually, with the lyrics.
But anyway,
Wow.
this is a fascinating conversation. But I was just thinking about how I really want to go to Baja, so I don't care what we race there because I need redemption on the last time I went to Mexico.
What'd you do
So-
in Mexico?
It was a long time ago, but I thought it'd be a good idea to walk over the border to Tijuana, and things just didn't really go well.
Did you have proper identification?
Oh, yeah, I had everything in line, but it's like I didn't want to take my car there. And so I left it on the U.S. side of the border, and all I had was $20 cash and my passport. And I thought, what can go wrong? You know? So everything I'd read online at that time was like, don't walk downtown Tijuana. But I looked on the map, and I was like, it's only a mile. Like, it can't be that bad. So I start walking to downtown Tijuana, and within like 2 seconds, people are trying to pull me into their buildings to like, I don't know, rob me or like take my swim trunks, I guess. I have no idea.
Or convince you to do something.
Exactly, yeah. There was a lot of shady activities happening there. It perfectly matched everything I'd read online, and I was like, oh, these people weren't exaggerating. So I finally get out of that situation, and I could see downtown. It's like just over this bridge. So I'm with my friend Josh at the time, and like, well, let's just go over that bridge, and then we'll be downtown. If we need to later, we can take a cab back to the border. We start walking over this bridge, and people start throwing rocks at us until we're like running away from them, and we just waltzed right back into the borderline, and it was, we're like, well,
Wow. You
Yeah.
do need redemption.
I do.
Yeah.
Mexico's
exactly.
like the best place ever. Everywhere I've been in Mexico, everyone's incredibly nice. The food, of course, is absolutely unreal. But I've been to like,
The caveat is border towns.
yeah.
The common factor here is not Mexico, it's the border with us.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, and
causes the
also,
chaos.
like, Tijuana is a really nice place to see if you go to the right places and spend $4 on a cab. I was just like, oh, I don't
You're
need
just
to
gonna
do that.
walk.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you
can
have
walk
exactly.
through the
20. Why didn't you
slums
just
or
pay
whatever.
$4 for a cab?
Well,
That's only
I wanted
25%.
enough, money to get some margaritas and tacos and maybe a souvenir or something. I mean, I had never been to Mexico. So, yeah. Anyway,
That's
it
a
didn't
pretty
work out.
Wish.com Mexico
Yeah, well,
experience.
and what was really funny is going over the border on foot. Have you guys been over the Mexican border on foot?
No, I've only
It's like, at least at the time I went, there was literally just this push gate. It was like, going into an amusement park or something. Like I had my passport out and ready, and I assumed they would
What year
want
was
to look
this?
at it. It's 12 years ago, whatever that works out to be, I
Oh.
guess.
2013.
Yeah, about 2013, maybe 2014. But yeah, I just walked in and I'm like, oh, there's not even people here to show my passport to. And so I could just walk downtown. I was like, how bad would it be if you forgot your passport? And then
Yeah.
you're just in
You
Mexico.
just walk into Mexico
Yeah.
without your passport.
Because at the time
Uh,
you could, and they didn't search us, nothing. But coming back was a totally different story. I mean, it was like
yeah.
a 4-hour line.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
Wow. Em and I did the border into Bolivia by foot, and we were just asking people. We're like, "Oh, this is where the bus driver said we cross is," and they're like, "Yeah," and they just like pointed to this bridge that crosses this like creek.
you just
and we're-
walk across and then you're in Bolivia.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah. I did a lot of the borders in like Costa Rica, Panama, Nicaragua by foot, and it's just different every time. Like it just depends on what way they want to swindle you.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And-
Yeah, because like Costa Rica is pretty specific too, because like Costa Rica and Panama anyway, like they won't let you enter the country if you don't have a proof of way to leave the
I
country.
found a good way around that.
well, there's ways around it, obviously, but crossing the border, they won't let you do it. So
Mhm.
like when my mom and I were down there when I was a teenager, like we went into Panama and like at the time we didn't realize you could just go like that. There's literally a bus station right next door, and you can just for like $5 go buy a fake bus ticket that you're not going to use. Like it's not fake. It's just that's what everybody
Oh.
does. If they're going into Panama without a return date, they just walk over there, buy a bus ticket for like $5 they don't plan to use, but they can show it to the border guard. My mom didn't know that, and I wasn't dealing with it, so my mom just bribed the border guard. Can you imagine my mom bribing a Panamanian?
no, it's really hard to
border guard?
picture.
Yeah.
That's hilarious.
Isn't that hilarious? I mean, she gave him like $20 or something, but
Oh, wow,
I
she
would
could have
just,
saved $10 just buying two
yeah,
bus tickets.
right.
I learned that you could just go on. I forget what airline it is, and I probably shouldn't say anyway. Probably they've closed this loophole anyhow.
Yeah.
But I would go through the steps of buying a plane ticket, get to where you had to pay, screenshot it, take it into Photoshop, and Photoshop the part that said pending out. So it just looked like a
Oh.
real plane ticket.
Nice.
Yeah, it worked
Wow.
every time I tried it. But yeah, don't
Wow.
try that.
When I went from Costa Rica to Panama, I just had an actual plane ticket.
Yeah,
So it
that
was
you
easy.
didn't use because you bought it for the wrong year.
Yeah, I did.
Well, the problem when I went there is the reason that we didn't have a return ticket is because we entered and left in different places, like of different border crossings.
Oh.
So like we went into Panama over here and then took a bus across and then came back over there. And like
Yeah.
we made a loop out of it. So like we didn't have, otherwise we might have already had the bus. We were only there for like 3 days. So like
Oh.
we
What'd
would've
you do
already-
in Panama?
just went there to renew our tourist visas. You know,
They did it the legit way because
Yeah.
most people who do that, because you get a 3-month tourist visa in Costa
Mhm.
Rica, most people will just wing it and go over the border, get new stamps, and then just come right back in.
Yeah.
But you're technically supposed to be out for 3 or
Well,
4
it was
days.
also an excuse to see other places.
Yeah,
so
yeah,
like
true.
we went and saw
Yeah.
Bocas del Toro. Wow, my accent's not good. We went and saw Bocas del Toro.
That's nice.
In Panama, and then when we went to Nicaragua once because we were there for 9 months. We had to renew it twice. So we went to Nicaragua the first time and went and saw Ometepe, the volcanic island in the middle
the
of the lake.
coolest place in the
Yeah.
world, pretty much.
Yeah, I was elaborating for everybody else. I know you guys know it. You've both been there, but also, what are the odds that all three of us would have gone? You went to Ometepe, right? Or no?
No, I haven't.
Hmm.
I was
Well,
very close. But
Edwin,
Okay.
yeah, there's a
We
lot
won't-
of lore behind all this, but
I
Edwin
know.
didn't
We're
make
not,
it.
I'm not trying to get into like all of the lore, but
just put it that way.
okay, well, it doesn't really matter, but you could pick a random town in Costa Rica that we have all been to, but all
Yeah.
at like different times.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's, I don't know. It's
It
just
is pretty
interesting.
crazy.
Yeah, like,
Yeah.
'cause-
Edwin
yeah.
is actually the reason I ended up staying in Nicaragua so long. I wasn't planning on going back there, but Edwin
Dang
had
it,
like,
Edwin.
I
He was
talked him
supposed to go
into it.
see the like rest of South
yeah,
America.
I was supposed to get on buses and just go south and see what happened. But Edwin's like, we'd come back from Cuba, and Edwin's like, do you know anywhere good to surf around here? And I was like, well, I don't really know Costa Rica very well, and it's expensive, but there's a $4 bus over there that'll take us right to the border of Nicaragua, and we can go surfing.
Yep.
And so I went back, and then that's where I stayed for like 4.5 months.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that was a nice,
Yeah.
nice
Anyway,
side tangent. But
I
Well,
wanted to
I-
talk more about Baja, but
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, while we're in Panama, one quick note. Panama Canal, massively underrated. Just being there, seeing it is so dope. I literally cried.
You know what's really funny is, Edwin, when I was with you in Panama, we went to try to see it. We misunderstood the bus driver and went the wrong way.
Yeah.
And so I never actually got to see the Panama
You know,
Canal.
I never did either because
Yeah.
the part. I mean, Bocas del Toro isn't anywhere
No.
near it. So like,
Em
that's
and
where
I went to the I don't know. I'm sure you can view it from many different places, but we went to one of the viewing places, and there's like bleachers because it's so sick to actually just watch. It's like a
watch all the
full-on
boats go by and stuff.
giant shipping boat, and then they fill all the water in the next one, open the thing, and it goes through, and you're just like, I can't believe humans figured that out. It's so sick. Like, you see a YouTube video on it, and it's like everyone understands how it works.
Right.
But
the
there's
physics are very
something
simple,
about
but the
seeing
scale,
a giant boat just go through the earth, and you're just like, wow, humans
Also,
did
yeah,
that.
what year did we build that? Because that
I
was,
don't know. It was before any of us were alive.
yeah, that's, yeah,
But not
it is
by
impressive. Mm-hmm.
I want to say it was just at a guess. This is not like
Yeah.
it'd be like 80s or 70s or something.
It's really impressive. I get I guess you could say I get teared up easy, but what gets me is when a bunch of humans get together and make something exceedingly cool.
Mm-hmm.
Like a lot of credits in movies, especially animated films. I like to read all the different job titles, and geez, 270 people drew for 4 years.
Yeah, and then they have
Wow,
their
I was-
Foley
sorry,
teams.
I was
and-
way off. It was completed in 1914.
oh,
yeah, okay. I thought it was pretty
I
old.
thought it was. I thought for
Yeah.
some reason I had it in my head as being way later than that.
maybe
Yeah,
they did
well,
some big update right before you were born that your parents talked about or something.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah,
I'm sure they've done
Probably.
some kind of maintenance.
It was
since
probably just in the
1914.
news when I was a kid or something for some reason. And I just got it stuck in my head that it was recent.
But
I
I
don't
see
know.
movie credits, and I'll sometimes I'll tear up in the credits even if the movie wasn't sad.
Huh? That's interesting. I've
But-
never heard that one before.
That's
Have
like
you-
I was it's so funny. Emma's cracking me up. Hey Bjorn.
Have you seen Flow yet, Edwin?
No, I haven't.
You-
and I really
you
need
will
to.
really like that one.
Yeah.
Like it, I didn't expect to like it as much as I did, but there's a reason it's like 98% Rotten Tomatoes or something.
You gotta tell them your thoughts. Tell them your doggo thoughts.
But this is when I was still dating my now wife. Is that how people say it? That's probably a dumb way to say it. But anyways,
That's I mean, it wasn't
So-
that far off.
she didn't know about my tearing up at credits things. So we're watching the boat go through the Panama Canal, and she looked over at me. She was like, "Are you crying right now?" And I was like, "Yeah." She was like, "Is it because of the boat?"
She's like, "How autistic are you?"
Exactly. I was like, "No, it's like humans built this, and it's so sick, and it helps so many people and stuff." I don't know. It's like that with movies too. Especially now that Christmas is coming up, I'll probably watch it again. But you know the one with Jack Black, who's a music composer? I always forget the name of the movie. Two girls with different lifestyles switch houses. There's the one girl that's in a cottage, and the other girl's a rich Hollywood movie trailer.
And it has Jack Black.
Yeah, it has Jack Black, as a serious role. It's amazing.
What are you?
I don't.
It's a very, very famous Christmas movie.
Oh well, I don't watch that many Christmas movies.
It's not even that Christmassy, but it just happens to be in the winter.
I have
Oh.
no idea what you're talking
Well,
about.
anyways, this particular movie, because it's about old Hollywood, and when the each movie that came out was very special because there weren't that many movies.
Mhm.
And you could get away with doing really creative stuff that was off the beaten path.
Right.
And then as the TV guides and more studios and more productions and more data led to more and more movies being made for money, not for art. And we're kind of seeing the epitome of that right now with Netflix and YouTube.
We're
and
also
stuff.
slowly seeing a shift away from that though, too, which is
Yeah.
making me really
where a
happy.
lot of artsy films are getting.
They're getting produced again because
Yeah.
there's, well, probably, sadly, because there is money in it. Again.
Yeah, exactly. But there's exponentially less, even still, even
Mhm.
after huge successes like we've seen in recent indie films, or even like ones that aren't huge successes, but they still make like $20 million. But then Sony's like, let's make Marvel 39 10 million. Yeah. So I have no idea what we were talking about before. Oh, the Baja.
I was trying to circle us back to Baja.
Yeah, I don't know how we got to Christmas music.
Yeah, but I'm just glad that we got to talk about the Panama Canal because, man,
well,
one
we
of
cut
these
from
days,
Edwin at the beginning of the podcast. I don't know what we're going to talk about, too. I'm so glad we could talk about the Panama Canal.
Yeah, one of these days, you guys really got to just see a boat go right through it. It's nice.
I mean, I'm sure it is, but I
think you'd like it.
What if
I would like it, but I also know that it won't affect me anywhere near the way it affected you.
Here's the idea. This is really unrealistic, but we build the MTV, make it good, go do the Baja, and then
drive it to the Panama
we
Canal?
could ship it off the peninsula, maybe, to somewhere else in Mexico, and then we just drive to the Panama Canal.
This sounds like a great idea like 10 years ago.
If we didn't all have, like,
Lives.
wives and girlfriends and
Yeah.
cats and
Like by the
dogs
time we get around to this, I might have kids. So
well, we could bring them, right? I mean, could you imagine?
It's like Steven's cats and Ethan's children in the
Yeah.
back of an MTV.
I can't wait to go home and tell Alyssa that I have a new plan for our life.
They're like, I'm taking our cats to Panama so Ethan can see the Panama Canal.
well, I want to see it too.
Like, yeah, I really hyped it up, huh?
I really don't think my
Apparently.
cats are going to care about it. But
no, your cats are definitely not going to care about it.
There might be a video. If we have a video, we'll put it in the podcast. I think Em might have filmed me crying at the Panama Canal. I think she might have a video on her WhatsApp somewhere.
Wow, that's something else.
Yeah, and like Panama City is like really nice.
I didn't get to see the nice part of it. Do you remember that, Edwin? Because we were
Oh,
on
yeah.
the wrong bus, and
I always remember
you were like,
that.
I thought that guy was going to invite us to our barbecue. And he was saying, I don't know if can I swear in Spanish on the podcast? Because he was saying not very nice things about your mother. And you put
Yeah.
your bags down and went,
Yeah, that's my go-to.
and I was like, let's get out of here. This is not a good place
Yeah.
to be. Yeah.
yeah, you'll have that.
Oh, yep.
So
I need Panama Redemption too.
Okay, well,
Yeah.
Mexico Redemption's a little easier if Baja counts, because
Baja counts.
you know.
well, sounds like you need entirety of South and Central America
No,
redemption.
I saw enough of Nicaragua.
You still might need redemption there in a different meaning, but you know.
Yeah, probably. Yeah. I didn't get to go to the Corn Islands, which I was trying to talk Alyssa into, but realized it's not a good like family vacation type location because it's
well, not family, but it's like a good like date location. It's beautiful.
Well, you haven't been to the Corn Islands either because they're the ones off the east coast of Nicaragua.
Yeah, no, I
but
haven't been there, but I know someone who's been there like on a nice date.
yeah,
type
it's possible to do
situation.
it nice. It's more just the like multiple days of travel time and getting on the right boat to get there.
Oh yeah,
And then it's like
yeah.
a whole nother multiple days of waiting to get on the boat to the little island. And then there's like no electricity in the daytime. And it's like, I think it's
you want
pretty
to do the
nice.
Steven edition.
yeah, I want to take the cargo ship. Yeah, Alyssa's not into that.
Yeah, I wonder why. That's because girls are smart. I'm like, sign me up for the cargo ship, especially if it's going through the canal, man. I'm gonna be dehydrated.
Have you seen those guys that do like the cheapest cruise ship stuff? There's a whole
that
side of
camp
YouTube
out
that,
on the shipping container things, and yeah.
Wow.
Have you seen the recent one of the shipping containers falling off the side onto the dock and the whole crane goes down?
No, I don't
No.
think so.
I thought it was AI for sure, and it totally wasn't. I've been really into shipwreck side of YouTube recently.
Why is that so funny?
I've watched like many hours of documentaries of shipwrecks on YouTube, and it's amazing.
Nice.
Bright Sun Films is the YouTube channel. Shouts out to Bright Sun Films.
I've never heard of them.
It's not got anything to do with that, but when you said you saw something that was you thought for sure was AI.
Yeah.
I saw something that was just on Instagram this morning, but it was somebody that just like chucked a tire off of the top of a really big mountain and like but
Ooh.
chased it with an FPV drone the whole way down.
Nice.
Oh, I saw that clip. Yeah,
Yeah,
it's-
I thought it was AI at first because the mountains were so obscenely big
Mhm.
and the tire roll was so like perfect.
Yeah.
I was like, "There's no way this is real." But I
that
watched
was
it
a
long enough.
good flyer.
Oh yeah,
FPV
the
pilot.
FPV
That-
pilot was
yeah.
amazing.
Yeah.
But like, I had to watch it for a while, and I was like, "Okay, there's no like weirdness." and the mountains are like changing scale appropriately. And also like this would be like AI would the tire would do something weird if AI had made this video. But at first I was just like, there's no way.
No.
But
and there's a cross reference too, because the kids who threw it filmed on the ground when they started throwing it. And it goes out of camera, but it lines up with the FPV, so you know it's real.
Right.
There's no way. Like AI isn't that good to do like another take
of the same thing. Yeah,
exactly.
But I was just watching like it trundling down, and I was like, these mountains are way too like picturesque for somebody to be throwing a tire down them.
Yeah.
It was anyway.
I made a Snapchat and I followed Grindhard's Snapchat.
Oh no.
And it's fine.
I was joking.
But all of the comments about the trike specifically, it's just like, as a matter of fact, this is indeed AI. And I was like looking at the comments, and like a bunch of our fans are like, no, bro, it's real. Look it up on YouTube. This guy built it with like things laying around his yard, and it's like sick.
Well, the Snapchat audience isn't used to seeing properly cool stuff on Snapchat.
Snapchat is
really
a dumpster fire and a half. There's no question about that.
It's really a life goal I didn't know I had, but I feel really accomplished to have built something that people think is AI.
Yeah, it's actually like a big compliment these days, because I get that with some of my photography too now, and people are like, oh, that's AI, and I'm like, no, it's real. I got the raw file.
Yeah.
Yup.
Wow, nice. There's another thing that I really wanted to tell Chris. We got to get him on the next podcast.
Yep. Well, he was going to be here today, but he had some doctor's appointment and then didn't feel good afterwards. So,
well, look forward to the next Sent and Bent podcast, because one of my favorite things to do is to run really bad ideas by Chris. So
nice.
You're going to have to subscribe to the channel or follow on, Spotify or Apple Podcasts.
Or any of the other places you might get podcasts. Also, the next podcast will almost certainly include more talk about desert racing. So, prepare yourself.
If you've made it this far, you're obviously down. Also, if you want to do a little bit of light desert racing yourself, we are giving away a V8 supercharged Ford Raptor on grindhardplumbingco.com. Thanks for listening.